Birds frequently fall prey to animals that are both more powerful and more vicious. But when they switch roles and become hunters, these birds mercilessly butcher whatever they catch. Did you know that some birds prey on and even eat other species of birds? To find out how, let's look into some brutal moments of birds eating other birds. The toko toucan is the largest bird in the toucan family. Compared to their body size, they have the biggest bills of any bird. The 7-inch long bill helps these birds hold their prey in their mouth and send it down their throats. Have a look at this footage. The toucan is holding a small bird in its 7-inch long bill. While the poor bird struggled to escape, the toucan tossed it up a few times, and in an instant, the tiny bird slipped right down its throat, disappearing in seconds. Eating an entire bird this fast is quite impressive. These birds are swift raptors with long pointed wings and long tails. They can shred the flesh from their victims' bodies and tear the spinal cord with their hooky beaks. This footage shows a falcon on top of this crow while the poor bird is desperately trying to escape from the sharp claws of this falcon. Then this falcon starts ripping the belly of this crow with its sharp beak. While the poor crow shouts in pain, the falcon seems less concerned until it digs a hole right in the belly of this crow. The crow finally gives up, and the falcon feeds on the flesh of this crow. That's a pretty frightening sight. These medium-sized birds can be found in Europe as well as Asia. Its long tail makes it look like a sparrowhawk in the air. This footage shows a cuckoo bird sitting near a baby bird's nest. Then it flies to the nest and sits directly in front of the poor bird while the tiny bird wails in terror. The cuckoo bird suddenly takes this baby's little head in its mouth and glides it right through its throat. The little bird's life was tragically cut short. These long-legged birds are typically found in ponds and marshes. It has a long pointed bill that is straight. The footage shows this heron holding a duckling in its long bill. It then dips the duckling into the water to make it even juicier. Then it takes it out and tosses the duckling a bit. It again dips the duckling into the water and takes it out again. The duckling seems helpless while hanging from the bill. Heron tosses the duckling again, gets its tiny head in its bill, and finally slips it through its throat. A tragic end to the duckling's fate. The majority of Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Pacific are home to the sparrowhawk. They frequently settle in forested and woodland areas. To kill their prey, they use their razor-sharp beak and talons. This footage begins with a sparrowhawk on top of this poor pigeon. The pigeon is trying desperately to escape, but the sparrowhawk has got a good hold of the pigeon in its talons. As the pigeon begins to move, this falcon starts plucking the feathers of the pigeon with its sharp beak. It doesn't stop here. It burrows into this poor pigeon. It then starts feasting on the flesh of this pigeon. Game over for the pigeon. They are distinguished by a long beak and a big neck pouch that they utilize to capture their prey. This footage shows a grassy area and a lot of pigeons roaming around the area, along with one big pelican. Suddenly, this pelican charges towards this pigeon and gets the bird in its mouth. It then tosses it 2 or 3 times to help it slip through its large throat. The pigeon tries desperately to escape but fails to do so, and the pelican successfully slips this pigeon smoothly through its throat within seconds. This pelican was definitely hungry and made quick work of the poor pigeon. Petrels are tube-nosed seabirds that normally feed on fish. This footage shows a petrel torturing this baby penguin's back and digging a hole in its back. Blood starts shooting out of this poor penguin while it suffers in pain. The footage ends there, but it was definitely the end of that baby penguin. These blackbirds have powerful legs and toes and weigh an average of 450 grams. The clip shows that this crow is on top of the pigeon. The crow seems to be in control of this pigeon and begins digging its beak into the head of this poor pigeon, and blood starts to shoot out of its head. Just when you think the pigeon has given up, it fights back and escapes from the crow's grip, but the crow lunges again towards the pigeon and catches it. It again digs into the head of the pigeon and rips the poor bird's head from its body. It then flies away with the pigeon's head in its mouth. A tragic end for the pigeon. So which of these brutal moments surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments section below.